And we are live. Woo, 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 woo. Drum roll. And of course, Satori wants to do a little hello as well at the same time.
Dasha, you are on another level with you and Satori over there. That's really it never I've been in this situation a number of times with you, and it never it never gets old, and it's always pretty wild.
Hello, everybody. Satori wants to say hi just at the moment we're going live. He was fine the whole time before. And
How you, how you doing, man? Satori, hey buddy. Hey buddy.
let me tell you, he's the cutest thing ever that requires a lot of work.
Yeah. So I mean, so how are you navigating all of that? How do you find the ability to shift out of stress and stay focused and do all the epic things that you're doing?
Okay. Well, I realized that I have no choice and I have no other way.
Hmm.
I could, be like, let my circumstances, come on, Satori, let my circumstances dictate what's happening and then blame my circumstances for not being able to continue on the journey. Or I could just surrender.
Hmm.
So, what about you? You started sharing with me.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day. I don't have a crying baby attached to my breast. But it's been a difficult day. And when we were kind of chatting beforehand about what felt like sharing, there's the thing about social media, like only sharing the good times and only sharing the happy stories and the bragging and as an entrepreneur, as someone who's really, here to create the life that I desire and really step into that level of responsibility and creativity and all of that. It's a lot of fun. It's very soul fulfilling, and it's really fucking hard. And today was a fucking hard day with a lot of dysfunctions and breakdowns and people problems. And there's a huge part of me that doesn't want to be here right now and be sharing these things. And there's a bigger part that knows that that's the authentic truth, and that I'm here to share that with the intention of inspiring others and and staying focused on those things that draw us forward. Like you're talking about Satori, like you do anything to ensure his thriving, right? It's like there's no other way. That's just the boats are burned, the baby's on the boob, like this is happening, you know. And same thing for
I
me
don't
in
have a
my own unique
choice.
ways.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
I said I don't have a choice, and it's like
Right.
and there is no such thing as a right time for anything anymore. Like he
Yeah.
could be fine all day, and then it's meeting time, and he starts to be fussy, and I still have to have the meeting, and I still have to go live, just like you do. So share with us how you go through and shift your energy
Mm.
if it's not going in the right direction. What are some tools?
Hmm. So there's the cliche around finding your why and having those things that are in your heart and mind so deeply that I know that I will run through a burning building to do the things that I'm here to do. And I have no doubt in my mind that in order to create the life that I desire for me and for Megan, for my dog, for my family, these are all things that I have an eternal well of energy to go do the difficult things that I'm doing. And all I need to hear from Megan is like, yeah, that sounds tough, and you got this. Like, keep going. Like, you got this, babe. I believe in you. Like that's all I need to hear. And I'm pretty much back in action. I might still be pretty grouchy about it, but I'm able to drop into that gear where it's just like, okay, we're gonna climb over this mountain, one step at a time. So that's the primary stuff, is knowing what you're doing it for. And then it's the growth around state management and just getting better at our breath work, getting better at moving energy, getting better at changing the feeling. And when we can change that feeling, and we can call in resources and states of being when we've been in a really amazing state in the past, which psychedelics are a great assistant to. Tantra is a great assistant too, and these other, other modalities, like those that I'm definitely a believer in. It sets that anchor that we can always go back to that place and draw the energy back in from the past.
So how do you like do it in the moment, in the instant when like, because
Mm.
the amount of moments that we waste like just being down, we
Mm.
gotta shift faster. So what do you do to shift faster, like in the moment? And thank you for being vulnerable and being like, oh damn,
Well,
it's been a shit day. The first half of
yeah,
the day was pretty hard too. Yeah.
yeah, it's been a shit day. And the first answer comes to mind is will. It's a will to get through these things, and just a desire, and that no matter what resistance faces me, there's an equal and greater force on the other side of it that's here to push me through that and transmute it. And I know that there's this I visualize it like this massive river of energy from God, spirit, source, that's like flowing from behind me, that's like pushing me down the river. And I'm going to get stuck in the rapids occasionally. I'm going to get knocked out of the boat. I'm going to feel like I'm drowning sometimes. But there's this enormous, infinite source of energy and power and desire that's flowing through me.
Mhm.
And so when I am in those moments of feeling like I'm over my head, or I don't know how to handle things, or it's a bigger challenge I know how to deal with, that's why I constantly come back to that state and that knowing, and that gives me a lot of serenity and a lot of strength.
I love that because you know your
Mm.
why. I mean, you know
Mm.
that you will not go back to corporate, right? You know you
Yeah,
have this
no.
big ass mission and you've broken through so many limiting beliefs. What's a few more?
Yeah, that's a good one, you know.
Because you
And
already like,
there's always another one to discover. Um,
yeah.
go, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and sorry if it's being a little distracting, but this is how he
That's
wants
okay.
to stand right now.
That's
Um,
okay.
there's
Satori's a star, man.
yeah, I know he's gonna be like, Mom, watch me. I'm gonna get a lot of more
Totally.
subscribers than you
You got
faster.
like the head bob going. I'm on TV, man. This is great.
You
This
like
is awesome.
yeah. Well, like it's sometimes and this morning I was like, or I watched a video the other day, I forget what it was, and I was like, is this really all that I accomplished like within the year? And then I was like, wait a minute. I broke through $100,000 month. Like our mind goes right away to like such a dark place. And if we let ourselves stay there, then we
Mm,
forget like all these beliefs that we've already broken through that
mm,
were once a dream. Just
mm.
because right now, like our mind is playing tricks on us, it doesn't mean we're not successful. It just means
Totally.
that somehow energetically, collectively, we have
Mhm.
received a low vibe and we need like the energy is always dancing around from somebody everywhere. Like we don't even know if it's our own that we just received. We may have been crossing the street and it's some energy vampire just whoop took us for
Mm.
a ride because at that moment our vibe was low.
Yeah, totally. That's a great point.
It's like, how do you remember and like bring yourself back to remembering how truly amazing you are? And that a year ago, you were not in the same place you are at now. A month ago, a
Mm,
day ago, like
mm,
this was once a dream. Like
mm.
every time I get frustrated with Satori because he poops and pees and cries right when mommy wants to go live, and I'm just like, but it's like, hold on, breathe. Somebody's gonna need to watch this. You were inspired to do this. This was an inspired action, inspired moment. So it has a reason to be alive. This video right now is alive. And we never know who we're inspiring. And it's like, there's no such thing as a better time and place. This just is what it is.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, working with the reality of the present, without attachment or desire for it to be differently is
Yeah.
a big part of the game.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here
Mm.
with like multiple pillows. So as he started moving around, I started sweating. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm going live and I'm sweating and he's screaming. And I'm like, what else could go wrong?
Totally.
And then it's like, hold on, wait a minute. This is real. Like you said, like showing up real and authentic. Like
Mm.
who else does this? Like you had an off day and you're like, and I texted you and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take a ride on the wild side with you today and just do it anyways. And let's see if
Mm.
energetically this has, well, we also are authentic,
Mm.
you know?
And for anybody watching that is creating your dreams and seeking to get through the beliefs and the barriers and the bullshit that's in front of you, it's gonna come. And we can be manifestors of our great realities and lean into that. Absolutely. Like we got to activate that power of the universe every day. And in my belief system, we're also going to deal with the resistance of our ego and of our limiting beliefs and of all the stuff that's deep in our subconscious and the super conscious of the universe of where these layers of resistance are. And it takes time to sort through that stuff. And that's where we get to become champions of our internal worlds. And in my experience, there is absolutely nothing on earth that can grow us like going into your entrepreneurial life. And I'm a big fan of psychedelics. I'm a big fan of Tantra. I'm a big fan of all kinds of healing modalities. And I've gotten a lot out of all of those. And there is nothing that can give you the benefits and the growth that going on this journey can.
Hey, woman.
Yeah.
I
So,
wanted to share how today I was able to shift earlier
hmm.
after I got back from a walk with Satori and my sister. It was really hot. And I'm kind of anybody who's out there who's a mom, drop a comment, a hello in the comment. And by the way, please subscribe, like, comment. That's your gratitude for this energy we're exchanging right now. Pretty please. Thank you. Um, for all those who are moms right now, I know it's like you get sleep deprived or maybe entrepreneurs really hustling. Um, and sometimes, when you feel like kind of delusional and tired, you tend to put the blame outside of yourself. And I was like, oh my God, if I only knew how hard it was going to be to be a mother. And, and I'm just like feeling this like exhaustion slash like sleep deprivation slash like I'm about to go live with Jackson. Like it's just so many things. And then it was like, wait, let's change our state. My sister's like, okay, drop down, do some breaths, do some yoga. Let's do this 15-minute meditation. And literally that changed everything around. I
You,
came back into my place and it was like rejuvenated. And it took 15-20 minutes.
mhm. What did you say happened when we were texting? Like something good happened when you changed your state? The
Yeah,
email came
yeah,
through for the speaking? Yeah. Tell us about
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Like
that's huge.
so I was spinning my wheels thinking like I can't believe it's so hard to be a mother. Like it's just he needs constant attention and he's constantly on my boob. Yeah, constantly. And there's no parenting, there's no like right way, wrong way, like bassinet, all this stuff. Like you think you can predict what a kid's gonna want or a newborn's gonna want. No, like half the stuff that has been purchased for us is not being used right now because he has his own preferences. And mommy's boob is like this number one thing. And he has this connection with the boob and the milk. And there's just like a lot of magic going on there. But then Dasha is like, wait, like I want to have a little bit more me time. And it's like, no, like you're going to be sweating in this video right now. And I'm going to do what I want. But after I changed my state, I was like, wait, like I still have a session with Jackson today. Like I got to change my state. Like there's a lot of things to do. I received an email from the Speak Off, from the American Greatest Speak Off for Grant Cardone, because I made it through the first round and it was like, oh, fill out this information. Here is the next round. It's gonna be on
So
February
awesome.
22nd, 23rd. Since you made it through the first one, here you go. Like fill it out. We ready.
All
It's
right.
in.
I
Only
already
40
know
minutes away.
I already know you're gonna do this, but you got to have Satori on the boob during your speech.
America's
That
speaker.
that is guaranteed success, guaranteed on to the next round.
So literally, like everything is gonna crash and burn all at the same time, the higher you get, especially if you're betting on yourself. Because
Hmm.
if you're betting on yourself as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as an author, there's like so many, I like to call it dark forces to get through.
Mm.
And dark forces is everything for any type of obstacle. Okay, he just wants to stand up and be on camera. Dark forces is any type of obstacle. He's like, Mom, I don't want to do the boob right now. I just want to be on camera with the lights. So
My
yesterday,
dog's starting to vie for attention. Come on. Come on. No,
all right, the dog,
got
yes.
All right. She at this point of the day, she gets really antsy also for me ignoring her all day long. So she starts getting whiny for attention now too.
Okay, it's
Pretty
love.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
love. No, it can't
Yeah.
always be perfect. And Satori's like, I like to put a few words in. So tell us
Yeah.
about, do you want to share with us maybe some kind of a story where you had like incredible transformation through either
Hmm.
Tantra or psychedelic so people can get inspired?
Mm. There's a lot of those stories. There's a few really good ones that I'm eager to share. And there's also another one that comes to mind, like speaking of like the deeper resilience, because like there's the most important emotion that I want to catalyze in people is hope, confidence, certainty for the future, that they're supported, they're guided, they can do that you can do the thing that you set out to do. And so there's a really epic story about that is the one that just like flashed to mind while you're saying. So it's not exactly a psychedelic tantra story, but it's a really good one. So I'll tell that one. So leading up to our last event, if you don't know me, my organization is called Aurea. We do live events and masterminds and retreats for primarily spiritual entrepreneurs, people that are really living their soul work. We're here to provide the community, the business training, the marketing, the inspiration to help you really bring those amazing gifts to the world and create a new golden age. Aurea means gold in Latin. So we're here to create a new golden age. And so our last event was last June, and they're very expensive. Like we put on kick-ass events, and it requires investors and loans and credit cards, and it's fucking scary. And we had with just about a week before the event, we had a major investor not come through. And it was like $60,000 of money I was expecting to have, I did not have. And these events they're over $100,000 to put them together. And I've been successful, but 100 grand liquid I did not have at the time, and I still don't in the temporary illusion of money. There's millions coming, but at the moment, yeah. So I I had about $30,000 of bills to pay, and I did not have it. Straight up, I did not have that much money. And so I woke up on this, and this is like June. So the event was June 9th. This is like June 3rd, maybe 4th. And we had to pay the AV bill for our videography and audio team, and a $10,000 fee for the deposit and a whole bunch of stuff. And I woke up at like 3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep. I wake up like super stressed out, freaking out. I wasn't able to pay all this off. We have to back out of the event, and like a catastrophe on every level. And I'm sitting there, and so I go to the park across the street from my house, and I go there every morning, and I'm sitting there in the grass, and I'm looking out at the water, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like praying and like manifesting and like seeing things work, but like feeling so just like in the just crazy stress of all the emotions, and having no idea how we were going to pull it off. And man, relax. And so all of a sudden I hear this urge, I get this voice to like lay down face down in the grass and basically keep praying. Shh, stop. Sorry. And I get this urge to just lay face down in the grass and basically pray. And there's, I'm not a religious person, but there's a lot of truth and like wisdom in the Bible. And there's a lot of stories of prophets that would just lay face down on the ground and that's where they would get their visions. It's like total surrender, right? And so I'm laying there literally in the grass at 3:30 in the morning, and I hear this like voice inside my head that says something is missing. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know something is missing. Like $40,000 is missing. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on, like I need more. Like what is something is missing? Like help, please, like help me. And then I hear this like second voice, and this is like one of the clearest moments I feel like I've ever heard the voice of another consciousness. And it said, the divine is real, trust the process. And I fucking heard it. Like I heard it, and it was there. And I said, I'm like, okay, but now what? Like, where's like the briefcase of money in the bushes, you know? Like, what do we do? Um, can you hear her in the background? Is that loud? It's good. Okay, Mary, come on, relax. So I hear that, and so I get up from the grass, I go home, and later that day I get a phone call from a friend of mine who was bringing a VIP to the event, and a friend of hers who bought a VIP ticket. And this is all exactly how it happened. And she says, "Hey Jackson, I want you to talk to my friend. He's wants to come for as a VIP, and I want you to make sure he has a good experience." I'm like, okay, great. $750 for a VIP ticket. Like I'm in. I need every dollar I can get right now. And I'm more than happy to talk to him. So we talk, we have a good conversation. And in the back of my mind, I'm like thinking, like, can I ask this guy? But like I want him to get to know me a little bit better. I don't want to come off desperate, but the deadline is like hours away. It's like coming up in just a couple days. And so I don't ask him on that call. The next day I text him. I said, "Hey Larry, great talking to you yesterday. Um, are you open to, a bigger relationship between us?" And we had an investor fall through. Are you open to talking about that? Doesn't answer. I get a call from my friend, and she is not happy. Okay. She's super not happy because he reached out to her, like, "What's up with Jackson? He's asking me for money, da da da." And she's like, "What? You didn't talk to me first. This is my relationship. You don't know him. Da 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 da. This makes me look terrible." I'm like, fuck. Like someone like my shit. Like now I didn't just blow my shot. I pissed off my friend, and like now it's like double bad. And so I'm kind of sitting there like being more confused and stressed and like depressed over it all. And I get a text from Larry, and he says, "Hey man, let's talk." Talk to Larry, and he agrees to put $30,000 in. And I said, "Holy shit, amazing. Fuck yes. Like we'll get the contracts over to you. Like we're going as fast as we can to get it over there." And then I get another call from the venue that there was another larger fee that we had to pay immediately, or else we couldn't get in. So it like the plot thickened another time. It's crazy. And so I had to call Larry back and say, "Hey man, I need you to wire the money directly to the venue, because we're not only like so tight on cash, but like there's literally no time for the money to transfer to our account and then transfer to the venue's account. It has to go straight there as fast as possible." So they got the money, the event happened, it was super successful. We had like $180,000 of enrollments for people into our mastermind. And we launched into an amazing reality with incredible partners, and Paul Hutchinson from Liberating Humanity and behind the film Sound of Freedom, who's broken the mold on the human trafficking crisis in an amazing way, is now an official partner. And we're in an amazing new reality. So I share all that to encourage you all to remember that the divine is real and to trust the process, and to really dive in there, because we have support from forces unseen that want to see our dreams come to life.
Woo!
Yeah.
We have support from forces unseen that want to see our dreams come to life.
I passionately believe that. That's been proven to me.
Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yeah.
So the big question is, why do we forget those moments when we have time and we let ourselves ride the roller coaster? Like, how many more reminders do we need from Soul Family Tribe,
Totally.
seen and unseen? And this is called the Soul Family Rehab, or Soul Rehab. So let's touch on the soul. Like, how many more reminders do we need every day that the divine is real?
Totally.
We're peeling away at the layers, the hero's journey, right? The golden Buddha.
Mm,
as we're tick, 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 peeling away at the layers. Because if it was
mm,
all rainbows and butterflies, we wouldn't appreciate the
mm,
journey, right? We'd
mm.
just be like, oh, I'm bored.
Totally, totally. I think our souls, like, I think the souls that are really called to this type of life, they have a really, we've been around, like we've done some stuff and we've got a high tolerance for what excites us. And it's like, we're easily bored. And if it were too easy, like you just said, like we wouldn't be into it. So,
I was just
if,
thinking about it. I was like thinking about did I just have a child just to prove to myself? Oh, 1 second, I'm on a live. What's up? Who's this? Give me a second. Oh, no, I'm on a live. I can't help right now. Um oh, so anyways, sorry about that.
all good.
What was I in? My train of thought just got boom.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, it
Oh,
distracted me
oh,
too.
oh, 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 soul reminders. Oh, yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes. The universe or whatever, like you as you mentioned that we're like each one of us is common. Like sometimes we ask for more and more stuff just to prove to ourselves how
Mm,
powerful we are. So I was thinking about that the other day and I was like, did I ask to have a child, a newborn, just to prove that I can be an entrepreneur hustler, working
mm,
however many times a day and have this another external factor that's like, okay, you want to see how powerful you really are, you can do this and that and that. So it's like every time I feel like I'm on a live and there's like a poop coming out of him, or he just peed on me but I can't move, or he just starts to scream and I'm in the middle of something, I'm just like, wait, you asked for this because this is testing every ounce of patience that you have just to see how far you've really come.
mm.
You asked for this. Like,
Yeah. There's an analogy that hit me that's similar to like your golden Buddha is that so I was writing an email the other day for our big list in the mornings, like an inspirational email. And I had this vision come to mind of this like crumpled version of me that's like my limited version self. It's got all these different dents and like these blemishes, and it's like this like statue that looks like me, but it's kind of like crushed in on itself. And
mm,
on the inside, there's all these like struggles and anxieties, and there's all this like shit like tied up inside of me. And I can either like try to compress it and like hold on to that stuff, or I can open up and allow that stuff to be what expands me. And there's this amazing analogy about I don't know if it was Michelangelo. It was Michelangelo, and he was talking about when he carved David, when he carved his statues, he wasn't so much creating them, he was unleashing them. He was taking off everything. The statue was already in there. Like your greatness is already in you. You already are what you're trying to become. It's just a matter of letting go of all of those things that are on top of you, the beliefs and the traumas and the bullshit and the lies, and allowing that pain inside of you to be what it was like. This analogy is like bouncing marbles inside of me. They were like dinging off inside the metal and like filling me out into this expanded version of me. It is like that golden Buddha that you mentioned. And I think and I don't think I know we all have the opportunity to allow that to be our reality if we choose it.
yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
You're a phenomenal storyteller.
Thank
I
you.
want you to know. And I recently heard something, and this may like be like a huge shift in consciousness for you or for anybody watching right now. And if it is, holler that the sooner you can shift your emotion when you are quote unquote down, the more successful you're gonna be.
Hmm.
And I heard that or read that somewhere, and I was like, ah, I let that stick with me because I do have quote unquote down or off days. And then every time I have this off day, this message resonates, and it's like, the sooner you can shift your emotion, the more success you're gonna have. And it's because it's energy in motion and it's always vibrating. So it's like at these moments when I'm experiencing down, this is why like it takes me so much faster now to shift. I used to give myself a day and be like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna turn on Netflix. I didn't do that today. I
Mm,
gave myself 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes
mm,
to have a self-pity party, you know? Like and I turned on the tools and meditation and yoga and have good collaboration partnerships where my sister was like, do this, do this. And now you and I, and we're like re-energizing each other, right? Because we say yes, even if sometimes we don't feel like it.
yeah. And
But you got
that's,
to remember that energy is always moving. And if
mm,
you let it take you, then the magic that's supposed to unfold that day is gone. And I
mm,
realized that the sooner I can shift my state, the more people I can help.
mm,
The more abundant I can make other people, the more abundant I'm gonna be.
mm,
It's all about that one decision every moment to be able to shift that state, you know?
mm. Yeah, there's an analogy that comes to mind. Not so much an analogy, it's like a connected side topic around love and apathy. And so, to get ourselves out of those states, we have to love ourselves enough to think that we're worthy and that it's important for us to shift into a higher gear. We have to love life enough to to desire for it to be better. And we have to escape the trap, of apathy about our lives. And apathy has been an emotion and a state of consciousness that has been in the past, and occasionally in the recent times, it's a demon for me, and it lurks in the background. I've got to watch when I start feeling that way, and be like, no, 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 fuck that. Like, no, this matters. This is important. I'm important. Life is important. And for anyone listening or watching, if you ever felt unimportant in your life, that's really one of the great terrible things that can be done to someone, is to make them feel unimportant. They don't matter. Their emotions, their dreams, their desires don't matter. If you ever feel that way, it's crucial to remind yourself how much you do matter, and how much better the world is with you in it, and how much worse is with you out of it.
Yeah.
And I was on a plane back from LA recently at a psychedelic mastermind, which would be a cool segue to talk about here in a moment. And I watched It's a Wonderful Life, old Christmas movie, old black and white Christmas movie. If you haven't seen it, and that's literally what happens. Is this guy basically wishes that he never lived, and so he meets an angel, this old drunk man who's actually an angel, and he takes him into an alternate version of reality where he didn't exist. And the town is in disarray, and all these awesome people have horrible lives, and he sees what a huge black hole the lack of his greatness, lack of his presence creates in the world. And so if my words can impart any enthusiasm and energy within you, any knowing to believe and hope and trust how much better your life is when you're really playing the game, it's massively, massively better. And we can create heaven on earth when you're in it, and hell comes about when we are apathetic, or when we deny our gifts and the benefits of really stepping into them.
Yeah, I love the fact that you mentioned that first of all, thank you for being vulnerable. For anybody
Mm.
watching right now, drop us a line, let us know where you're watching from, what resonates. We appreciate that. Like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell, pretty please, as a token of appreciation. And this is Jackson being vulnerable. You know, for all the men out there who can't be vulnerable, like, check this man out. Woo, woo,
Mm.
woo. It's called
Mm.
Divine Masculine. In case
Mm.
you in case you didn't know. But you touched on the fact that this is all a game. And I want to like broadcast that and like amplify that and like put that word game in lights right now, because everything is a game.
Mm. Mm.
This is a game of vibration. To change your emotional vibrational station, it's a game. You know, to learn a system is a game. To write a book, to read a book, everything is a game. So if you start like turning everything from like being so serious
Mm.
and put a little bit of humor into it, a little bit like a child, okay, I'm figuring out this game. If everybody could figure out and crack the code, then everybody would be a millionaire. But wait a minute, they're not. There's got to be a reason. oh, some people are separating their spirituality or their 3D world. There's got to be a reason. Like it's a game.
Mm,
So it's
totally.
like, if I want to be the change, then I'm going to demonstrate to people how to play that game.
Mm,
And then they'll come to me and be like, hey, how you play that? I want to play that too.
right. Yeah, I'm so with you, and that's something that I regularly reinforce inside myself because I easily forget that. And there's an Alan Watts quote you might have heard about work and play, and it's like the one of the great tasks of life is to go for the things we desire, but to remember that they're play and to not treat them like work. To remember that it's all play. We can play hard, we can play in the Super Bowl, and it can be stressful, and we can want it really bad, but to remember to keep that like childlike spirit and that sense of creativity and joy and not get bogged down in like this like jaw clenched, kind of gladiator mindset, which is something that I definitely have a tendency to fall into at times for sure.
That's why you gotta, like on the calendar, you gotta put like the things that you're responsible for, because then they're gonna bounce you back. Like that you're
Hmm.
like, okay, I made a commitment. Like today we made a commitment to show up. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't matter that like a few hours ago my state was down. I made a commitment and I knew it was coming and I knew I had no choice but to shift and
Hmm.
change my state.
Yeah.
You weren't there on the calendar. I don't know if I would have shifted my state, but the fact is, I knew I was responsible. There was something that was penciled in. So I had to be accountable for showing up. And then intuitively, I was like, why don't we go live?
Hmm. Yeah, it was really cool when I saw that because like totally was in like just the grumpiest, grouchiest, fucking grumbly ass mood. And then I see your message. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do with this. I'm supposed to share this and be honest and be authentic and vulnerable about these things and with the intention of inspiring you as the viewer and you, Dasha, in some kind of way, I hope as well. And that's what we're really here to do is be alchemists, is to turn the shit we go through into fertilizer and grow epic lives from it and not be victims. And there's a million and one cliches about it. And it's easy to be jaded and cynical, but man, it's so real. It's so
And
real
I
and
and I
it's
want to
so
put
worth it.
like I want to put like as long what you were saying, I want to put like huge exclamation letters right now for divine collaborations
Hmm.
and
Keep
partnerships
going. Hmm.
because sometimes you don't know why, but your whole body is like, say yes to the type of
Hmm.
divine relationship and partnership, like how we're developing and how we have developed, helping each other
Hmm.
out in so many facets. And it's like
Hmm.
soul family and tribe. They'll bounce
Hmm.
right back. Like when
Yeah.
you start to become a beacon of and true to your word and share your truth, you start magnetizing people that are just like you and you see that you're not alone because most of the times it's not your family, it's not your immediate circle that you've had before because your vibration shifts so fast. And
Hmm.
it's like you desire this aspect of community, of collaboration. And like when you step out into the arena, like new lights start blinking where you haven't seen them before because
Hmm.
you were trying to preach to the wrong choir, like your family or your old friends that weren't listening because they weren't on the same vibration length.
Hmm.
So when you step out, like and create a clear vision, like start suddenly magnetizing all these willing components and people to make these visions come true. Like you
Hmm.
are one of those beautiful lights that I feel like together we are creating a much bigger light, a whole street that's lit up, a whole city that's lit up because we now have each other and we trust each other and we're walking this path. So
Hmm.
it's like if you feel like you're alone out there right now because your vibration is changing and you feel like no one around you resonates, you are now a movement, right? So start blinking the light and stop preaching to the wrong choir because the sooner you stop preaching to the wrong choir, the sooner you let the new choir that wants to join you join in the harmony that you've created.
So that opens up an interesting door here in our conversation because that dynamic was really playing in my head today because as I was in dialogue with a former business partner of mine today, And it was really, really fucking frustrating and really disappointing and really just like, what the hell is going on here? Like how I don't know how to, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know how to, I don't understand what's happening here. I'm super fucking confused and it's super energy draining. And like I'm just like so in the like in this like doorway of like in and out and back and forth. And there's a really epic quote that came to mind about about see if I get this right. The peace, the success of our lives to, is based on how peacefully can we allow the doors that close to be closed and how enthusiastically we can go through the doors that are open. And for opportunities, for closed partnerships, for lost loves, for letting go of shit that's obviously not aligned to us, like how peacefully can we just say, okay, that door's closed now. Okay. And other doors are open, and I'm going through those with gusto and gratitude and guts, and we're gonna fucking go for it. And I'm lit up on that. So yeah, offering that as an insight for anybody watching.
Yeah. Because how many times have you had like doors closed when at the time they feel like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Like I can recollect back when my mom was diagnosed with stage 4B cervical cancer and I wasn't able to perform at my sales job and they let me go. My mom thinking that it was because of her. And the reality is at that moment, I was crushed for a second, but then I realized that the last few months with my mom were things that I could no money could ever pay for. Spending those last few months with her before she passed away. So at the moment, you know, it seemed like, whoa, like high-rise apartment gone, like this 150K salary gone, like, but it's like a few months later, whoa, I got to spend this time with my mom. And a relationship, like, you know, the universe will separate you from the things that are not meant for you. And at the time it feels like, what the fuck? Like I had a 16-year relationship where there was a little fight that blew up and then now we haven't been friends for 3 years. And at the time it was like, oh, like my sense of stability and security, of a best friend since I moved to America, like, oh, and then like just releasing it and letting it go has opened up so many opportunities and my divine relationship and everything that is meant for me.
Hmm.
And it's not personal. The universe will bring like ways for you to separate from what doesn't belong to you. It doesn't mean that you don't love this person, whether it's romantic or platonic. It just means that the relationship has served its purpose. And now it's time to move on. Yes, it's scary. But the reality is, are you here to expand or stay the same?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we've got to embracing the growth journey is it's a must, you know, and you know, growth versus fixed mindsets. That's a hugely impactful for me when I discovered in the past how much of a fixed mindset I really had. And really recognizing that, maybe kind of ashamed at first of like, oh God, I don't have a growth mindset. I'm doing all these things wrong. And thankfully I also, you know, had some other practices and mentors, you know, that really, you know, activate compassion for self. And you know, that was something that was really foreign to me in my youth, and I thought I could just whip the shit out of myself and beat myself into success and submission. And you know, that's the way I would do the things I wanted to do. But it's really not. Like, it really is compassion for self and finding softness and ease, while the kicker, though, for me or my perspective is while maintaining incredibly high standards and making sure that we're really bringing our best in every way that we possibly can, while being like, it's okay, buddy, don't worry, like you're fucking up, but like it's okay, you're gonna figure it out, you know, you're learning to walk, you big toddler, and just, you know, don't give up. And you know, treating ourselves like a client or a friend instead of like an adversary has been a big, that's been a lot of, there's been a lot of 0 to 1 in that journey for me, for sure.
Love that. I love that. And I love our divine collaboration also, and
Yeah.
partnership in a way
Yeah.
that it's transmuting and showing itself,
Mm.
and how
What are your
I
favorite things about it? Because I definitely feel the same. But people that don't know what we've done together and the projects that we've worked on, what do you personally enjoy most about our connection and creativity?
first of all, like, I love the way that we have joined forces. We were introduced through Cahill at Fireflies, and
What's up,
when I was
Kahil?
what's up, Cahill? Um, and I was working one of his events, and he said, you got to work with Jackson. He wants to take over one of the days. And then Jackson and I get on a call, and I'm like, oh, and we just vibe out right off the get-go. I remember I was like walking around outside. It was kind of raining, and we just vibed. And I was like, oh, you know what? You're super cool. How about we just do this whole thing together? So
Huh.
it was like it was like it metamorphosed into its own thing. And then long story short, um I ended up becoming his coach first. Now he's coaching me, and like miracles have been happening. And
Mm,
you can share some of these miracles. The fact is, like, we both said yes, like we both feel the vibration, we both feel that we are here to help each other, and it's been like shifting into in such a crazy way that it's like I can only call it divine. That's all
mm,
that's all I can call it. And I know that if you came to me, if you needed anything, you know that you could count on me,
mm.
vice versa.
I appreciate that. And that's definitely a fact. And and yes, if you are dealing with something, you absolutely can call me for the record. Just triple, ensuring you know that one. And we're really, as I grow and seek to impact more people and have more income and more following and share my gifts with others and see them light up and experience that fucking priceless magic of someone like look in the eye and be like, fuck yeah, you changed the fucking game for me. Thank you. Holy shit. My life is so much better now because of you. Thank you. Crack cocaine in the most healthy, beautiful, awesome way. I've never smoked crack, but I heard it's great. Um, and so, in the healthiest, most beautiful way, like that is all of like the so much of the most beautiful things in life, and getting to do that for people is everything. And so, as that like instinct grows and as that desire grows, there's this tricky relationship around like the motivations. And so the where I've found a lot of growth and strength, and what I invite you, the viewers out there, to tune into, is making sure that you stay in the resonance of the impact you can provide, and allow that to be your fascination. Allow that to really be the guiding light, because I've studied a lot of psychology and motivation and how dopamine works and how our internal world works, and it's the rush of followers, the rush of 10, 20, 30, 100K months. Like Dasha, you and I have both, we've experienced the thrill of over 100K months, each of us. And it was really fucking fun. It was really fucking satisfying. And 3 days later, I felt pretty much the same as I did before the 100K month, right? Like it's satisfying, but it's not long-term fulfilling. It's great. Like go do it. It's awesome. And the thing that's really going to sustain that well-being feeling, that fulfillment, that enthusiasm, that joy, is it's not that. It's being able to create massive impacts with people and to create amazing relationships where you can have a big community of people that are like following you and loving you and experiencing your gifts, and you can build relationships like Dash and I have created, where it's like there's really only a handful of people like in my inner circle, like really inner circle people, and those people are fucking game changers. So yeah, cultivate those relationships and protect them and consciously make them better as much as you can.
Yeah. And create, whatever contracts you need to help each other. Because
Hmm.
when you do that, you're gonna subconsciously cultivate the relationship, even though you didn't know that it was forming. But you're coming
Mm.
out to be in service, you know?
Mm.
Because not every contract is going to be the same way. Not every contract is going to be financial investment. Like, not every contract is going to be straight up. But if you can learn how to be fluid and really trust your higher self and your inner being and keep going forward, like really being of service, a lot of magic happens.
Mm.
A lot more magic than if you were to just dismiss, like if somebody that can't work with you, if they can't afford it, like create ways in which you can exchange energy, put them down, because there's a lot of magic that can be done in multi-level dimensional world that we're in, because we're all so resourceful. And sometimes, like, if you're so stuck at a certain way that you're doing your business, your handlings, you miss out on the opportunity to help
Mm.
somebody and let them help you with the resources that they have.
Mm. Totally. Totally. Create agreements you're excited about. Make sure there's good energy exchanges and it feels like energy rich. There's a really successful consultant and friend of mine we hired before the last event, and now he's a friend. And when full disclosure, we were negotiating over his fees because I really couldn't afford his full prices. And like he had this phrase that really hit me. And he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I want to help you guys, but like that price just doesn't feel energy rich for me. I can't do that price of what I was asking him to do it for. And like it hit me. I was like, ooh, you got me with the energy rich thing. Like,
I
I don't
love
want you
that.
to, right? Like, I don't want you, I don't, and like, it got me in my guilt. And like, if you studied negotiation, especially the book Never Split the Difference, which is the coolest, most epic book on negotiation ever, it's all about emotions. It's all about getting someone to feel empathy for you and having like an honest heart connection. It's not really about the mental manipulation games and stuff. Those are old models that have been proven not to work against some of the other like deeper human emotion stuff. And like that got me, and I was like, damn, I don't want him to feel like it's not energy rich. Like, I want him to feel like satisfied about this, And I was like, all right, fuck. All right, I'll figure it out. Like, we'll do it. And so yeah, inviting everyone into that.
Another really like super cool thing that you said to me. And after that, I would love to hear a testimonial about me.
Yeah,
Um,
happy to.
you said two words that I had to write down, like stuck with me in one of our sessions.
Hmm.
You said the words, and I know you probably, I don't know if you remember or not, but you said those two words, and I wrote them down, and I keep going back to those two words that you said that just have been so huge. You said, I need you to put pictures up that, and listen to these two words, because this is what changed the game for me. That command authority.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
2 days later, I went out and did a photo shoot because I was like, okay, because you were like, I need pictures from you that command authority in all your
Hmm.
stuff,
Hmm.
like microphone, like, and then I was like, so then I went out and did a photo shoot, and I was like, command authority. How do you command authority? And now every time, everything that I'm posting, it's like command. Every picture that I'm taking, those two words are in my head that you said in our coaching session, command authority. So I open
Hmm.
myself big and I'm like,
Hmm.
how do you show up when you command authority? So I want to let you know that I don't know if you noticed those two words, but these have been a huge game changer for me. And
That's
and then
great.
how everything got revamped, because you've got Jackson's got the eye of the tiger, I
Hmm.
call it, because
Hmm.
he's meticulous and he can see things in a way visually that you may not be able to see, and psychologically how people will perceive it and how they'll understand it, how to massage it. Basically, he knows how the psychology of a human person a person to go through a process is, and it's been like mind-blowing to watch him in
Hmm.
action, to dissect every little thing. Like I've painted a canvas and he's like, let's paint it a little bit better. Let's
Hmm.
add
Hmm.
gold glitter over here and make
Hmm.
this like shiny over here and a little bit 3D over here to really make it a polished diamond. And I couldn't have done it without you.
Uh, Appreciate that. And that last analogy is really the one that hits the hardest to me, is like it's polishing the diamond. Like we're all diamonds. And I'm not here to revamp anybody. You don't need that. No one's broken. No one needs to be fixed. We just need to get some, we just need to get polished and let that epic light that we are really shine. And yeah, I love doing that. So I'm really glad that's been your experience. And to turn the bright lights on you. And so I fully receive that and I'm grateful. And to turn the lights on you, and my heartfelt testimonial is there's a couple real epic zones of genius for you that I've experienced thus far. I'm sure there's more that I'll discover as time goes on. But one is you have a laughter superpower of this like celebratory, like naughty, playful, like it's this crazy ass laugh that you do, which is just like it's great. And it's like this celebration of life where it's like, yeah, everything's fucked up. Ha ha ha, it's great. Fuck it all. Like we're doing it anyway, motherfuckers. Ha ha. And like it's like this rebellious, like naughty, playful, and brave. Like it's brave. You're fucking brave, dude. And we all need encouragement back to hope. Like we all need more bravery, and igniting that in people and letting people know that like their efforts are going to be worthwhile and like good things are going to come from their efforts is one of the most important things in the entrepreneurial, artistic, creative journey for sure. And you've got an amazing ability to like stimulate that feeling within me and many others. And the other one that really comes to mind is actually two more that I want to say. Is the second one is around all your human design shit. You're on another level. You're on another level, dude. Like you're on another fucking level. And I've known a few people that were very good, like honestly, very good. And your fluency in details of human design is deep. Like you have put in hours and years of study into that. And it is so obvious how deeply and quickly you can dance around between concepts of all of that. So if you're out there and you want human design knowledge and wisdom to like really tap into your gifts and bring them to the world in an epic way, ding fucking dong on this woman's front door digitally. Don't come to her house or you're gonna have other problems for me and other people, but knock knock digitally. And then the last piece is also your marketing mind. And we've gone through sales copy and offers and going through all that. You've really got an incredible talent to communicate value. And you see in me some of the great characteristics that are alive inside of you, and being like, okay, yeah, this is nice. Like that's a cool sentence. That's a valuable thing, but no one gives a shit. They want this. Like you got to describe it in this way. And it's like, oh, you're right. And it's been, I love it. I'm super grateful for your place in my life. And you're such a hilarious, like unique person. And
You know what?
damn.
I just had a download. I just had
Mm,
this download that like if you see my website now, by the way, it's been revamped since we
cool.
talked. Dasha Love. You'll see the fonts because you ignited me with like same
Mm,
font and make the font fancy and
mm,
everything should be fancy, right? Because it's a
mm.
projection of yourself in a digital form, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
funny thing is, this is what when you have a divine collaboration, and you don't even need that many, that's the truth, is
Mm,
that he can see what I can't see and he can phrase it better than I can because I'm too close to it. And when I'm because I'm too close, when I'm
mm,
looking at his stuff, I can phrase and see things as a projector. We're both projectors helping one another. Remember, projectors
mm,
are amplifier. How do you work together? Is
mm,
one at a time, amplifying each other. So
mm,
I can see things that he can't see and make it easier for him because he's too close. And he can do the same thing for me.
mm,
That's like such a cool thing. That's how projectors amplify projectors. If you're a projector out there,
mm,
holler.
yeah. What's up, projectors? Take a nap and then go amplify someone's energy.
Yes, and
I'm not so
work
good on the nap part.
spurts, work in spurts. You
Yeah,
should turn on meditations if you can't. Sometimes I just turn on a meditation and I just
yeah, yeah. I do that. There's this app, New Calm, that I've really gotten into. I don't know if you ever used that, but New Calm. It's great. NUCALM. It does all
Oh,
kinds of theta brainwave manipulation and like really, it's like binaural beats, on steroids. It's really good. And there's one in there that's like it's a Tony Robbins spoken word with like this like powerhouse like techno and like dramatic like opera techno behind it. It's fucking amazing. Like I want to kick a hole in a mountain when I listen to that thing. Like it's like designed to trigger adrenaline, and it really freaking does. So anyway, shout out New Calm. You guys are badass.
cool. I think
Yeah.
we're good. I think we're good for today.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I was actually just kind of starting to think on that. I got a call at 6:30. So yeah, much love and respect, Dasha, received and returned. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Like, love, subscribe, share, make a billboard. Dasha for President 2024. And we're gonna save the universe.
I love you, Jackson. Have
Love
a
you too,
great
Dash.
day. Thank you so much for being here. And I can tell that your eyes are just sparkling right now. So
Hmm.
I did my job. And it all
Yeah.
started out with a crying baby. So if you've been tuning in and listening, just so you see how that frown turned upside down, and I was like, ah, but breathe through it. No matter what happens, no matter what fire you got to put out. Because if I
Hmm.
can do it, if Jackson can do it, if
Hmm.
the baby can deal with us at the same time, then you
Hmm.
can get through anything too.
Love it. All right, Dasha Satori 2024. Peace and love.
I love
See
you.
you soon,
Bye.
homie.